Tier 11, tier 11. Okay, let's see. Now I want to look at this dev blog. Now I want to look at the dev blog. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? So, in the new episode, usually they say it much clearly in the dev blog than in the video. We talk about the future of superships. I mean, it's not really superships. It's literally going to be tier 11. In update 0.10.5, super battleships appeared in World of Warships. It represented our view of how military shipbuilding could have evolved if the decision had been made to continue building powerful artillery ships, yet you had CVs in the game mode. And you didn't give them any AA, and the CVs dumpstered the super battleship the hardest. Like, okay, let's not go back to previous mistakes, let's focus on the new mistakes they're making. As part of the temporary Grand Battle game event, players were able to try out two super battleships, Japanese Satsuma and the German Hanover. The outcome of the Grand Battle showed that tier 9 and 10 ships were able to capably stand up to super ships, and the newcomers themselves were warmly received by our players. Yeah, that was mostly because fires are kind of busted. Fires and flooding are super busted. We often get, I mean, it's percentage based, and Battleship just got farmed. And the dispersion of those relied heavily on the special gimmick. Oh well. We can turn on notifications back, by the way. Whoa, loud. The outcome of... Okay, we often get questions about when super ships will appear. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be really annoying. I'm gonna mute it after all. That's too loud. Wow, that was terrible. Yeah, we're gonna mute that for now. When super ships will appear in the game again, and we're happy to announce that update 0.10 they will be able to use in rank battles. Oh no. Ranked has become the new PTS. Ranked has literally become where they just dump all the garbage. They don't care at all about ranked anymore. They don't care at all about ranked. Subs tested, super ships tested. Jesus, it's literally PTS now. The upcoming season of ranked battles will take place in a 7 vs 7 format on tier 10 ships and super ships. The season will take place without submarines, and for the matchmaker there will be standard class restrictions. Super ships will be mirrored by the matchmaker. Oh no, this sounds like CV balancing. This sounds like CV balancing. Oh, we can't balance it, so we'll give both teams one each. It's literally tier 11, isn't it? In update 0.10.10, in addition to the Satsuma and Hanover, there will be 4 more super ships with their own unique features. Japanese super destroyer Yamagiri. This super destroyer will have a unique mechanic to switch between 2 torpedo types in battle, which differ by various parameters such as range, speed, and damage. The following super ships will introduce a new autoloader mechanic, which means after pressing a key, the player can switch to a special firing mode, with which separate turrets can fire several consecutive salvos in rapid succession before being subjected to a long reload. Oh Jesus. French supercruiser Conde, American supercruiser Annapolis, Soviet super destroyer Zorki. Oh god. It's gonna be tier 9. 1 for each, isn't it? Yeah, a bit more actually. IGN gets 2. They get destroyer and the Satsuma. Hanover and Satsuma will have updated adjustment fire mechanic. Now if you feel the adjustment fire bar, you need to press a special key to activate the characteristic bonus. Oh, this is a huge Hanover buff. This is a gigantic Hanover buff. Because Hanover's biggest weakness was you couldn't control the secondary buff. So this is a huge buff to this one. This will allow players to control the use of the bonus and get it at the right time. Over the last few years, gameplay development for World of Warships was focused on horizontal progression, adding new mechanics, branches, or ships with unique peculiarities, such as hybrids that no one asked for. But this framework, which was conceived many years ago, can only accommodate so many new concepts. So they ran out? But what do you mean? They still have... Where's the Royal Navy supercruiser line? What? They still have so many things that they could potentially add before they're starting to work on goddamn supercruisers. Or sorry, tier 11s even. Oh no. Along with super ships, we aim to add a new add new special mechanics to the game to give a new gameplay experience beyond the usual progression. These new mechanics are aimed at diversifying decision making during combat and game tactics. We decided that superships and their mechanics, given the interest in them, may well become a full-fledged part of the game. We want to introduce something for all existing branches of ships by making a continuation for them in the form of superships. Given the very essence of superships as a development of already familiar ships, we think it would be most appropriate to place them in the tech tree as a continuation of their respective branches. In addition to the logic of this continuation, we also believe that because of the superiority of superships in terms of technical characteristics over their predecessors, superships do not fit into tier 10. Tier 11 is here. Tier 11 is here. The expansion of Tech Tree will greatly increase the variability of battles and introduce completely new mechanics. In addition, some of these mechanics may be added to the lower tier ships in the future. Right now, tier 10 is the most popular tier among players and its popularity will only grow. Yeah, of course, the matchmaking is terrible. No, like, do you realize that people don't enjoy being up-tiered? A lot of people love being top tier, but they hate being up-tiered. That's why people play tier 10, because you don't get up-tiered. I mean, the only thing you face there is tier 11s like Petro and tier 12s like carriers, but the rest of the time you're kind of facing like the same tier ships. Therefore, we wanted to continue to give players variety in gameplay with various new mechanics. Oh no. We want to make obtaining superships simple and clear, accessible to all who wish to use them and not harming those who reset branches in the research bureau. Therefore, you will only need 1 XP point to research a supership after researching a tier 10 ship. The credit cost of buying the supership itself will be about 1.5 to 2.5x the cost of buying a tier 10 ship. Therefore, players will not need to play much on a tier 10 ship to be able to explore superships, but will need to invest credits. And remember, they just recently spoke about wanting to rework this entire mechanic. They want to separate camos, flags, and credit earning. So they are going to make it so that in order to pay these ships, you're going to have to grind either probably on premiums or with doubloons or just a shit on a low tier or something. They are reworking the credit gain for sure. They are going to rework the economy while they do this. The expansion of the tech tree is a big and important step for our game. And based on our previous experience, we do not plan to immediately add superships for all nations and in random battles. Instead, we will start with ranked battles. Yeah, because no one cares about ranked battles. Like, imagine taking ranked battles seriously. That's the testing mode. Psh, psh, psh. And we will decide on further steps and implementation of superships as we go along. We will keep a close eye on the results of ranked battles involving superships, as well as your feedback. We will share details about ranked battle results and possible changes to the very concept of new ships if they will be necessary. Supership Economics. One of the most important aspects of adding superships to the game is their combat economics, the income per battle and maintenance cost. Over the years of development of the game, the economics have significantly accelerated, which is why they nerfed the hell out of Missouri and stealth nerfed it and did all sorts of shenanigans, due to various bonuses and economic signals, which is why they reworked combat flags from achievements. They didn't like us getting so many flags and making so much money. Oh, but that was to make the game more accessible, by the way. And credit earning has become easier even on the most expensive tier to maintain, tier 10. And this has had a significant effect on their popularity. In the case of superships, we decided to change this approach both to ensure that superships don't become too popular in matchmaking and ensure that tier 10 ships will have an economic advantage over them. Therefore, superships will have a high maintenance cost, about twice as high as that of tier 10. However, combat economics depend on many factors and requires a lot of data, so at the moment we have not made a final decision on it. In this regard, in the upcoming ranked season, superships will neither earn nor consume credits. We'll share final details on the combat economics as soon as they become available. Okay, so wait, which ships can we actually recognize? Which ships can we actually recognize here? Which ships can we actually recognize? Is that Hunter? No, that was just the standard. That looked like Bourgogne even, that was French. Because they showed some, they did tease some of the, that was the Annapolis, right? That's the Annapolis. That looks absolutely like the Annapolis. That looks like American style. No, that looks almost French. That's a French, is that a French thing? That's a French quadruple turret. Bourgogne, that's the Donde then. So it looks like a Bourgogne. Look at the weird smokestack. It looks like a Bourgogne with... This is gonna have the auto reloader. That's the Conde then. And that's that looks American. That's clearly American. That looks like Alaska turrets. So that's the American super cruiser, Annapolis. A lot of, by looks like AA and secondaries, a lot of freeboard. So that's gonna be American. Also probably auto. Super DM, I guess, almost. Is it gonna be, because those look like Alaska 305s. So if it's 305s with improved pen angles and autoloader, holy shit. It has the shell net of DM. DM. Are they DM turrets? But how is it gonna separate itself from the Des Moines then? Because it's gonna have to have even faster reload. Does it have 4 turrets? It actually has 4 turrets, doesn't it? Wait, is it a 4 turret DM with autoloader? Jesus. So this is the whole, it's Buffalo with autoloaders or something like, or DM with, Jesus. This is the Soviet, huh? This is a Soviet one. Mega Buffalo. Buffalo with reload booster. Yeah, this was the Conde. Yeah, this looks very much like a super Bourgogne. Holy shit. And this is the IGN thing. How many? 1, 2, 3. How many torpedoes are there? Can we count? 5, 6. 6 torps. What the hell? 3x6. 18 torpedoes. This is the Yamagiri. Holy shit. 18 torpedoes on the Yamagiri. Jesus. Usually sextuples are terrible in World of Warships though, because the spread is so gigantic, but if you can launch 18 of them... Jesus. They wrote the Yamagiri backwards? Okay. That doesn't surprise me too much. Okay, let's see. This is just him talking... Okay, is that the depth charges? Yeah, some sort of depth charges, of course. 2 turrets in the back, they have 2 in the front, so it's some sort of super Kaba by the looks of it. Yeah, this is the Super Kaba. Those turrets look pretty modern now. Super Kaba basically is what we're dealing with here. And this is the Conde again, the French one. Only but 1 turret in back, so it's same guns, but it's, I guess, autoloader. That's gonna be what sets it apart. Autoloader, huh? Yeah. We already read everything they have to say in the devlog. That's not interesting. Yeah. Sextuples. Jesus. Wonder how huge this ship is, though. It looks pretty thick. It looks pretty gigantic. And being really big in a DD is generally a pretty big disadvantage in World of Warships. Only 6 guns. Yeah, this is the Annapolis. Are you sure these are Des Moines turrets? Are they Des Moines turrets? Look at the secondary or the AA armament. Secondary and AA armament on them. Are those Des Moines turrets? I guess it is Des Moines turrets. I'm having a hard time to put it into scale. I feel like it looks 305-ish. They look so huge. I feel like they look like 305s to me. Okay, look. Wait, do we have Alaska on this? Let's see Des Moines. I mean, I guess this looks the shell catcher under here or the casing catchers look very much DM. The rescue boats, yeah, we can compare it to the rescue boats. They're probably reusing the assets on the rescue boats. We can compare the scale. I think it is Des Moines. I think it's just Des Moines. It's gonna be 12 gun Des Moines turrets that we're dealing in. They don't look as big anymore now that we're straight comparing them. Yeah, it's gotta be DM with an extra turret. That's gotta be it. DM with extra turret. How much of an advantage that is can be debated, like, because one of DM's great strength is being able to play nose in and use the majority of the guns. But now half of it is in the back, so depends on firing angles, I guess. Did they show any more ships? Here they show some more ships. Yeah, that's a lot. That's gonna be a lot of AA, isn't it? That looks like a lot of AA. Maybe this thing can even defend. Okay, imagine this. This thing might even be able to defend itself against the new Soviet CVs. It might. I'm not sure, but it might. That's how crazy that AA might be. World first, able to defend itself against new Soviet CV. Okay, that was all they had to show. Jesus. Tier 11? 20 dual-purpose guns, 2 flak. Jesus. Okay, now we can turn notifications back.